Hello students, today we will start our new chapter, that is chapter 2, acids, bases and salts. In this topic, today we will learn about acids and bases. And in this lecture, we will learn what are acids and bases, that is definition. We will take some examples also, and what are the categories of acids and bases in which they are classified. Then strong acid, weak acid, strong base, weak base, concentrated acid, concentrated base, or dilute acid, dilute base. Then we will learn about their properties, general properties, and then indicators like natural indicators which are natural occurring, synthetic indicators which are man-made indicators, olfactory indicators related to olfactory senses, that is smell, and then universal indicators. So let's begin with today's lecture. So first point is, what is an acid? So acids are those compounds, you can say those compounds or chemicals which produce H plus ions in their aqueous solution. It means, suppose we take a chemical which is acidic. When we dissolve it into water, it releases H plus ions. So it releases H plus ion called hydrogen ions. Similarly, bases are those compounds which release hydroxyl ion. Hydroxyl ion is OH negative. When dissolved in water. So definition is clear. Again I am repeating, acids are those chemicals which release H plus ions in their aqueous solution, means in their water solution. And just a single word difference, as they are releasing H plus ions, those compounds which release OH negative ions in their aqueous solution are called bases. So let's take some examples. HCl, H2SO4, HNO3, H2CO3, H3PO4. These are some examples of acids. Bases examples: NaOH, KOH, CaOH2, MgOH2. So when, like suppose HCl is an acid, when we dissolve it into water, it will split up into this plus these ions, like H2SO4 in water, all these acids release H plus ions. Here also H plus ions when dissolved in water. Similarly, these, suppose NaOH, when dissolved in water, it releases Na plus OH negative ions. CaOH twice, they release OH negative ions. Although in water, H2O, H plus ions are present, OH negative ions are present, but their concentration is same. Suppose we are having 50 molecules of water. So in 50 molecules of water, same number of H plus ions, means 50 H plus ions are there, 50 OH negative ions are there. So it is basically a neutral because H plus ion, OH negative ions are same. So when an acid is dissolved in water, so concentration of H plus ion increases, which indicates that it is an acid. And in the same way, when a base is added to the water, the concentration of OH negative ions is increases, which indicates that it is a base. So now I think these two things are clear to you. Definition is clear, examples we had given. So next point is category of acids and bases. Basically we are having two categories, like mineral acids, next is organic acids. Beta, what is a mineral acid? Mineral, everyone knows what is a mineral. Minerals are obtained from earth crust. So basically we can say these acids like H2SO4, HCl, these all are mineral acids. Similarly, these all are mineral bases. Why they are mineral acids or mineral bases? Because hydrogen we get from the earth crust, sulfur we get from the earth crust. Every element we get from the earth crust. So mineral acids are those acids which are obtained from the earth crust, and we can say they are man-made. They are man-made or synthetic. Organic acids, like in lemon, tartaric acid is there. Vinegar used at home, that is also an acid. So they are organic acids, means which are prepared from plants or obtained from animals. Which are obtained from plants or animals, they are called organic acids. In the same way we can define bases also, means mineral bases, those bases which are obtained from the earth crust, and organic bases which are obtained from plants or animals. Clear? And organic acids are natural acids. Similarly, organic bases are natural bases, and these are man-made acids or bases. Now third point is clear to all. Next point, beta, what is a strong acid or what is a weak acid? Strong acid means which release high amount of hydrogen ion, which release high number of hydrogen ion in aqueous solution. It is called strong acid. And we can say, suppose 100 atoms are there, more than 80% atoms are released in that solution, more than 80%. So which release those acids which release more number of H plus ions, which release more number of H plus ions is called strong acid, and which release only a few, you can say less than 30%, they are considered as weak acids. Same we can give definition for the bases. Those bases which release large number of hydroxyl ion are called strong bases, and which release only a few, or you can say which release small amount of hydroxyl ion are considered as weak bases. So now beta, What is a concentrated acid or concentrated base, dilute acid or dilute base? Beta, concentrated means the pure form, we can say, in which no water is added, or we can say just 1% or 2%. So we can define it as the pure form of acid is called concentrated acid. We can give its another definition also. Those acids which contain least amount of water is called concentrated acid. Same you can define base, concentrated base. What is a concentrated base? The pure form of base is called concentrated base, or those bases which contain least amount of water are called concentrated base. Dilute acid or dilute base which contain high amount of water. Same way, dilute base, which those bases which contain high amount of water as compared to base, pure base. So for example, if I say 5% of sulfuric acid, I am taking example of concentrated acid. So if I am writing concentrated acid and I am writing 5% of sulfuric acid, it means there are total percentage is always 100%. It means only 5% is acid and 95% is water in the solution. So it is a dilute acid. In the same way, you can define dilute base. I hope this is clear to you. Our first 6 points are clear. If you are not getting anything, just watch this video again and again, and still you are having any query, call me anytime. So now beta, move on to the next points. One more thing beta. These are the examples of strong acid, and these are the example of strong base, and these two are the example of weak acids. These are strong acid. These are strong bases, and these two are weak bases. You have learned this in chapter 1. This is slaked lime, and this is milk of magnesia, which is used as an antacid. When you are suffering from acidity, you go to the doctors, he give you a bottle which is pinkish in color. That is milk of magnesia, magnesium hydroxide. Now beta, properties of acids and base. Acids, they are sour in taste. Sour, we can say khatte, like lemon, vinegar. When you taste it, they are sour, like grapes. And bases, they are bitter in taste. Write it as bitter, not butter. It's not butter. It's bitter. Bitter means correct. So the example of acid, general common examples we are saying as lemon, tamarind, vinegar. And for bases, we can take example first soap. This one, CaOH2. We can call it slaked lime. soap, slate lime, just okay. So acids are sour in taste, bases are bitter in taste. And when you touch an acid, their touch is watery, means you feel like a touch of water. But when you touch a base, when you take some base in your hand, its touch is like soap. So we can differentiate between acid and base on the points that acids are sour in taste, bases are bitter in taste. Second, their touch is watery and their touch is soapy. Although both are corrosive, both leads to corrosion. So this is all about acids and base. And one important question, beta, we can classify any chemical in three categories on the basis of their chemical properties. Means we can classify any compound on the basis of its chemical properties into three categories: acid, base, or salt. Suppose a person or a teacher gives you a question that this is a compound, this is a chemical, just on the basis of its chemical property, tell its nature. You have to tell about its acidity, basicity, or neutrality. Means you will say that it may be acid, it may be a base, or either it is a neutral. So next point is indicators. What are indicators? Like in your vehicles, indicators are there which indicates that the person which is ahead of us, where he is taking turn, either on the right side, either on the left side. So they just indicate, they give some information. In the same way, there are indicators which tells about a chemical, either it is a acid, either it is a base, or either it is a neutral. Because if you are having 3-4 bottles of chemicals without their name, how can you identify that it is an acid, it is a base, or it is a neutral? So some indicators are there. So first, about definition. What is an indicator? Those chemicals or substance which tells or which indicates, you can write about the nature of a chemical. So those chemicals which tells about or which indicates about the nature of the chemical. That what is the nature of the chemical? It is acidic, basic, or neutral. So indicators are divided into mainly two parts. Natural indicators. So from the word natural and synthetic, it is clear they are obtained naturally from plants or animals, and they are man-made indicators. Just you have to tell some examples. Like natural indicators are litmus and turmeric, used for cooking at home. Synthetic, you can give example of phenolphthalein. Phenol, just pronounce it as phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein, and this is methyl orange. Just keep it in mind. Two examples of natural indicator and synthetic indicator. Now the question is, how they tell us that it is this chemical is a acid, or this is a base, or this is a nu. So I am making a chart to make it very easy. Litmus, to phenolphthalein I am just writing PP, and to methyl orange MO. These are indicators. So litmus paper, actually it is a litmus solution is also there, and litmus paper is also there, and it are having only two colors, blue and red. Keep it in mind, litmus paper we are having only in two colors, blue and red. Either it is solution or either it is in paper form. Suppose a chemical is there without name and it is an acid. So when we dip blue litmus in that chemical, it turns red. So suppose a chemical is there and I have dipped blue litmus paper in that chemical, blue litmus paper. If that chemical is a acid, it changes into red color. And in the same chemical, if I dip red litmus paper, it remains red, which indicates that that chemical which I have taken, that is an acid. So in acid, blue litmus paper turns into red litmus paper, and in bases it is just reverse. In bases, red litmus paper turns into blue litmus paper and blue remains same. So if you take turmeric, which is obviously yellow in color, so there is no change in acid. It means it remains yellow as it is. But when it is dipped in base, it color changes to red, or you can say brownish red, dark red. Phenolphthalein, it is a colorless solution. It remains colorless like water, and in base it turns into pink. Methyl orange, in acid it turns pink and in bases it turns into yellow color. So these are the indicators and their colors in acid and bases. The main question is how we will remind it. So use some strategies, like in litmus, see beta, in litmus paper, blue to red, where in acid, and in base it turns red to blue. First word stand for litmus paper, second stand for acid, this stand for color, blue, red, acid, litmus. Same way here, litmus, base, red, blue. So like what is the trick? Suppose I come to your home and I say La Bhai Rasna, as it's hot outside, so I'll say you La Bhai Rasna, and you give me more respect and you say Le Bhai Red Bull P, Le Bhai Red Bull P, Le Bhai Red Bull, La Bhai Rasna, Le Bhai Red Bull. So in this way it is easier to remember this, no need to cram it. This is very much easy. Turmeric remains colorless, sorry, not colorless, no change there, it remains yellow, and red in base. P P C P, you can write it as P P C P. पीओ पीओ चौधरी साहब पीओ, क्या पीओ? इट्स अप टू चौधरी साहब. पी पी चौधरी पी, either T or leave it. Next, MOPY. Everyone knows परीक्षित सर. मैं और परीक्षित यार हैं. मिथाइल ऑरेंज पिंक येलो, and keep it in mind, first last two words tells us about colors, last two words. So first word indicates about acid and second word indicates about base. Clear? So in this way you can learn them better. Clear everyone? So after this, olfactory indicator. But olfactory means related to olfactory senses, means smelling senses. So olfactory indicators are those indicators, like these indicators change their color and tells us about acid and base. These olfactory indicators change their odor, or you can say smell, and tells about acid and base. Olfactory indicator, I'm writing here. Like example is onion, vanilla essence, and clove oil. First definition you can write by yourself, like olfactory indicators are those indicators which changes their smell in acid and bases. So suppose I am having onion paste or onion, you can smell it. Okay, so keep it in mind, the smell. Now put this onion paste in acid, or put some acid on this onion paste. When you smell it again, its smell is changed from the simple onion paste. And similarly, when you put some base on this onion paste, if you smell it, its smell is totally different. So it means you are having three types of smells of onion. First, when it is simply onion, smell is there. Then in acid its smell is changed, and in base its smell is changed. Same for the vanilla and clove oil. So you just need to know about the definition and example of the olfactory indicators. So repeating again, olfactory indicators, those indicators which changes their smell or odor in acids and bases. Examples are onion, vanilla, clove. Onion is the simplest and common example for that. Now beta, universal indicator. I hope this is clear to you. Now no need to cram it. So for litmus, what you will say? La bhai rasna, le bhai Red Bull. La bhai rasna. Okay. Let's practice again. Only these. La bhai rasna, le bhai Red Bull. It means litmus paper in acid color changes from blue to red. Litmus paper in base color changes from red to blue. Chalo, first is clear. Turmeric, yellow in acid remains same and reddish in base. Now phenolphthalein, P Chaudhary P. Just we will provide you only T. So phenolphthalein in acid, its color is colorless. C for colorless, and in base its color is pink. Mopi, methyl orange. How you remind it? मैं और परीक्षित यार हैं. So methyl orange, it turns pink in acid and yellow in base. Now beta, last topic, universal indicator. Actually, universal indicators are the indicators prepared from above told indicators. It's a mixture of many indicators. Universal indicators are the mixture of many indicators. Either it's natural or either it's synthetic. And the main thing is these indicators tells about only nature, that it is acid or base. But these indicators tells us about nature as well as strength. If it is a acid, what is its acidity? What is its strength? What is its power? How much acidic it is? Weak, mild or strong. Similarly, if it is a base, it is a mild base, it is a weak base or it is a strong base. So these indicators tells us about only nature, but universal indicators, which are the mixtures of many indicators, they tells us about nature as well as strength. Nature and strength. So for universal indicator, a scale is there, which is a universal scale. In that scale, 14 blocks are there. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 11, 12, 13, 14. Because range of acidity and basicity lies between 0 and 14 only. Never less than 0 and never more than 14. So universal indicators is having a pH scale. It is a pH scale where P stand for strength, power, and power is strength, and H for hydrogen ions concentration. So beta, there a universal indicator is also there. It is you can say a pH paper. pH paper is there. When you dip it in a chemical, its color change. This scale is different. This scale is for measuring the strength only. Clear? And pH paper is different. This is a pH scale. So when you dip a pH paper, previously I told you about litmus paper, it is a pH paper. When you dip pH paper in a chemical, and its color change. Now match the color with this scale. Suppose its color matched with this color. They all are having different colors. Every color is different. Suppose that pH paper, after dipping in chemical, its color matched with number 12 color. So salmon is a neutral. These are acids. These are bases. So first of all, nature is clear because its color matched with 12. So it is a base because salmon, between 7 to 14, all are base. Second one, it is very far from salmon, so it is a strong base also. Like when you move from salmon, weak, mild, then strong. You move from weak base to strong base. So out of 12, if pH is 12 and pH is 8, 12 is more basic, 8 is least basic. But for acids, it is different. Suppose two chemicals are there. For A, pH is 2, and for chemical B, pH is 5. It is strong acid. Why 2 is strong than 5? Because 5 is near to salmon and 2 is far from salmon. So these are universal indicators, and there how we can say that it is a strong acid, or how can we compare. I hope today's lecture is clear to you. Just see again videos again and again if you are having any query. Clear beta? All the best.